A former Iowa police officer tonight fighting his termination. The white officer says that he was told he was fired for an interaction that he had with an African-American woman 4 years ago. But it's not what you might think. He let that woman off with a warning instead of arresting her. Ashley Neighbor has the rest of the story.
I never thought I'd find myself in the position where I am today where, my character's under attack, I'm under attack, there's threats against me and my family, and on top of that, to have your own department accuse you of something that's false has just been devastating.
Former Sergeant Lucas Jones says he never saw his termination coming, certainly not for a traffic stop that happened 4 years ago. Jones, then a patrol officer, had pulled over an SUV and its African-American driver for not having license plates.
The female was super upset right away. She was crying, hysterical. I asked her what was wrong, and she said she was just having a bad day.
She's bawling, doesn't want to talk to me. It's weird.
Jones ran her license, which had been suspended for failing to pay her tickets.
And as a police officer, I'm well aware of the fact that if you got pulled over for speeding and running a stop sign, those 2 tickets are going to cost you $500, $600. And for someone who's maybe on a restricted income or minimum wage income, or even your average person, a $600 hit is hard. So I could sympathize with her right away.
Jones says the driver explained she needed her car for work and to pick up her kids. She had no arrests or thefts on her record, so we cut her a break, having her call for an escort home.
I thought I did something that the police department would celebrate as a way to help bridge the gap between African Americans and the police department.
The incident was brought up during an interview with Internal Affairs after Jones was involved in a shooting the very next day, where he was dragged by a car during a stop. He was cleared of any wrongdoing. The year before, Jones had been involved in another shooting. He was cleared then too. So Jones was surprised when he was told that because he didn't arrest the driver with the suspended license, he was being fired. Jones says he was doing his best to use his judgment and follow conflicting department policies. A copy of the 2016 policy obtained by KWL says all suspended, revoked, and barred drivers must be arrested. But a different 2016 policy states officers have discretion for simple misdemeanors, driving while suspended, for example.
It was my understanding that then I would have discretion then to warn or cite her or place her under arrest. Those were my options, and I chose to give her a warning.
Never formally reprimanded at the time, Jones says the issue was brought up during attorney questioning in a civil suit involving one of the shootings.
He asked me if I would violate that policy, meaning the suspension policy. Well, I told him that I would give warnings for suspensions in order to have the betterment of community interactions.
In fact, Jones's termination letter cites 6 violations, including that, quote, Sergeant Jones made statements that he would knowingly violate department policy as he sees fit. Jones's attorney says that lacks context, saying his client was referring to a specific policy he understood was discretionary.
The city of Cedar Rapids is saying here in this case is that Sergeant Jones violated a policy back on October 30th of 2016 that has a disproportionate impact on minorities and poor people. And whether the policy is a valid policy, whether it should be the policy of the city of Cedar Rapids, that's up to debate. But at the time, the way that the policy was worded, Sergeant Jones had discretion.
A policy the attorney contends that disproportionately affects minorities and low-income individuals.
She would have lost her vehicle, lost her means to get to work, lost her means to pick up her children, and I just cannot wrap my head around how that would be a benefit to Cedar Rapids, or is that what the taxpayers want us out there doing? You have to have discretion. You can't label everything as black and white and say you have to arrest all these people, because it takes humanity and compassion out of the job.
Cedar Rapids police say that Jones was supposedly also had turned off his mic during that stop, which is another policy violation. He says he thinks the real reason for his termination is political pressure.